Students, in this video, this is electrostatic video number 2. In this video, we will discuss about Coulomb's law. Very important, Coulomb's law. The chapter name, Coulomb's law. So students, electrostatics, Coulomb's law. You know, gravitational law. Gravitational law, there is a two masses. Suppose M1, M2, two masses M1 and M2 separated by very small distance r, then you can write F equal to capital G, gravitational constant, M1 M2 by r square. Right, you know. Similarly, for charge configuration, you can write Coulomb's law like this. Suppose there is a two charges, Q1 and Q2, separated by very small distance here, r. Okay, then the Coulomb's law, Coulomb force of attraction, if there is a two similar kind of charge plus, then the Coulomb force of attraction will occur, and if there is an opposite kind of charge, then similar kind of charge, then repulsion will occur, and if there is a opposite kind, then attractive. So you know force, the value of force, how much? Force is directly proportional to the product of the charges, so you can write Q1 and Q2, and the inversely proportional to the square of the distances. So this is your Coulomb's law. So now if you put the proportionality constant here, you can write K Q1 Q2 by r square. This is your Coulomb's law. Very easy format I have written. So F equal to K Q1 Q2 by r square. Say with me. Force of attraction F equal to, or force of repulsion, means the force of attraction or repulsion, that is may be equal, that's equal to constant K Q1, product of the charges Q1 Q2 by r square. Okay. Now the question is the value of K. This value of K. What is K and the value of K? You know, students, the value of K, this proportional constant value of K depends on two things. Yes. Number one, medium. Medium means in which medium it belongs. There are two charges situated in which medium. Depends on medium. Okay. And K also depends on system of unit. System of unit. Yes, system of unit. System of unit means whether it may be SI or CGS. Students, in SI system, you can write with the help of medium permittivity. That means for SI, you can write the value of K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. If there is any medium, then you can write epsilon. If there is a free space, you can write epsilon naught. Students, there is another thing. What is called epsilon? Epsilon means the permittivity of the medium. If the medium is a free space, okay. If the medium is free space, this is a permittivity of free space. The value of epsilon 0 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12, then its unit. So in that case, you know, there is another thing which is called relative permittivity. So if you divide this to epsilon by epsilon naught, is called relative permittivity. This is called epsilon by epsilon naught. Epsilon means the permittivity of the medium. Epsilon naught means media free space. So the ratio of epsilon by epsilon naught is called relative permittivity. It's called relative permittivity. Relative permittivity. So in place of epsilon, you can write epsilon naught into epsilon r. So for any medium, you can write the force F is equal to, for any medium, if you put the value of K here, 1 by 4 pi epsilon r epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by r square. If there is a free space, then epsilon r equal to 1. If there is free space, then epsilon r equal to 1. So you can write F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. This is the force due to free space. Means if there is a no medium, force due to free space. For free space, we can put naught sign, f naught, f0, f naught, f0. 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r square. And students, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, the value of it 9 into 10 to the power 9, then its unit. 9 into 10 to the power 9, 1 by 4 percent value 9 into 10 to the power 9. Got it, students? So this is all about 1 by the value of k. So you can write Coulomb's law. Please pause the video and write it properly. Copy to your copy. Hurry up. So students, you can write Coulomb's law for free space like this in SI. Coulomb's law, you can write F naught is equal to q1 q2 by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. And for any medium, you can write, suppose any medium Fm is equal to q1 q2 by 4 pi epsilon r square. So if you divide these two, if you divide epsilon Fm by f naught or f naught by Fm, you will get epsilon r. See, epsilon r is equal to f naught by Fm. Am I right? Am I right? Because force and epsilon inversely proportional, right? So you can write like this. Now the student question is how you can write for CGS. So for CGS system, you can write, just put K here constant. You can write K as a dielectric constant. You can treat K as a dielectric constant. So you can write F is equal to, if there is a medium Fm is equal to, you can write 1 q1 q2 by r square and there 1 by K. Here K means dielectric constant. Okay. So if there is a free space, then q1 q2 by r square, because k equal to 1 for free. So if you divide these two, f naught by fm, you will get k. If you divide f naught by fm, you will get k. And student, surprisingly, this k and here epsilon r, this k and epsilon r both are same thing, because epsilon r means f naught by fm, k means also f naught by fm, epsilon r means f naught by fm, k means this. So you can equate this equal to this. So you can write epsilon r, relative permittivity, is equal to dielectric constant K. Relative permittivity is equal to dielectric constant, right? So student, this is all about Coulomb's law. So if you please pause the video and copy the whole thing and understand properly what is called dielectric constant, when you put the dielectric constant for CGS case. And you know students, actually for in your exam you need to write in SI system, you do not write CGS system, but you have to know what is called dielectric constant. That's why I have written. Dielectric means if there is a two poles, okay, dielectric and insulator both are same thing, but the main thing is that if you placed a dielectric slab into an electric field, then the dielectric will arrange properly like a means there is a polarization occur. So there is occur some polarized electric field. Later in capacitor chapter I will discuss thoroughly the dielectric, okay, about dielectric. So now you just write and know this is just a dielectric, that's all, okay. Now another very important thing, from this I think you confused what is the similarities and what are the differences. Sir, what are the differences between Coulomb's law and gravitational law? Coulomb's law, suppose I write Coulomb's law Fc equal to this, and gravitational law also similar thing, only the difference is G, masses are there m1 m2 by r square. So students, the two law means Coulomb's law and Newton's gravitational force law, both are similar type of formula. So students, you tell me what are the similarities and what are the dissimilarities between gravitational law and Coulomb's law. Gravitational law and Coulomb's law. Number one. First of all, I will discuss the similarities, then dissimilarities. Number one similarity, Fc and Fg. Fc means Coulomb's law and Fg. Both are, now write down, both are number one, conservative in nature, right? Conservative in nature, both forces are conservative. See, this force will for working for galaxies, for heavenly bodies, and this forces acts for tiny object, okay, very small objects, okay, and this is for the heavenly objects. But the thing is that both are conservative. Both the forces are conservative. Number one. Number two, both are central force. Central means, students, it will act center to center. That's why it's named central force. It will act from center to center. Whenever you take in the distance, you will take from the center to center. That's why central force. So number one conservative, number two central, and number three, both follows inverse square law, 1 by r square. Here also 1 by r square, here also 1 by r square. So both followed inverse square law of distance. Inverse square law of distance. Got it, students? These are the similarities. Now, dissimilarities. Yes, you know dissimilarities. Number one, gravitational force always attractive. Gravitational force always attractive. Okay? It always attractive. Gravity always attracts towards its center. But electrostatics attractive as well as repulsive. Depends upon the charges. If the similar charges, then repulsive. If the oppositely charges, attractive. Number two, gravitational force does not depend on the medium because of capital G. Capital G means universal gravitational constant. Universal gravitational constant. It's a universal constant. So it doesn't depend on the medium. But Coulomb force. Obviously Coulomb force depends on the medium. Which medium this charge belonging. So it depends on the medium. Okay. And there is a epsilon means the permittivity. Permittivity of the free space, permittivity of the medium means how much it will permit the force of attraction or repulsion by this medium. That's why permittivity is the medium concept. Okay. And the third point you can say that Coulomb force strongest or gravitational force strongest? Yes, Coulomb force is the strongest force because in the nucleus the proton-neutron attraction is the strongest attraction in the universe. Strongest attractive force in the universe, nuclear force. So nuclear force kind of Coulomb force. So students, you can say Coulomb force is most stronger than the gravitational force. And how many times you can write Fc is nearly equal to 10 to the power 40 times, I think so. Fg means if you multiply how much, this is the concept of mass, this is a concept of charge. So whenever it is a concept of charge, the force of attraction or repulsion increases to 10 to the power 40 times. You believe that? So the Coulomb force is strongest force in the universe. Students, in the next video I will discuss the vector form of Coulomb's law. So before that vector form of Coulomb's law, you can write Coulomb force is equal to, in vector form just put arrow, and you can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square, and then you can put a unit vector, and unit vector r hat, which shows the direction of the force. Suppose we can put r hat like this. So this is, you can write as a vector form, but whenever there is asking for in terms of position vector, write the vector form of Coulomb's law in terms of position vector. So student, in next video I will discuss about vector form of Coulomb's law in terms of position vector. In terms of position vector. Thank you, students.